the last episode, this happened. Hello and welcome back to episode 42 here on the OmathaCraft Season 4 server. In today's episode, we're going to be working back over here at the base because, well, we've got to make use of this massive rover that came and appeared in our base last week. So in last episode, Pyro pranked us as a bit of a well done congratulations for reaching 1,000 subscribers. And yes, he built this monstrosity. It's me. Okay, so in today's episode, I've been thinking for ages, right, we've got to do something with this. I mean, it's such an epic looking thing. I don't want to get rid of it. We've got to find a use for it, and I can't take off. There we go, that's what I want. So we've got to find a good use for this. So I was thinking, well, firstly, let's just start off by, let's go inside and let's gut the inside. So I've completely gutted myself. And as you'll see, the minecart rail that was once in here has been taken out. The top, the top of my head has been taken out. The arms have been taken out. So we have a really big open space in here. So I was thinking, well, what do we put in here? And I was thinking, well, I reckon we put a farm in here. Considering most of our area around here is all about farms. We've obviously got a sugarcane farm, we've got our creeper farm, we've got a villager trading hall, we've kind of got a carrot farm over there, and a villager breeder, we've got smelters, we've got a storage area, we've got a TNT concrete converter, we've got a TNT tree farm. So I was thinking, well, there's got to be some kind of farms that I need to build here to make this base obviously more and more complete. So I was thinking, well, I don't know where to begin. What farms do I even build? And then I remembered round the back of our area around here, this was the first area we ever set up when we moved over here. And I was thinking, I remember we set up this wall, and I always forget that this wall has been made. And I actually broke a sign off here probably ages and ages ago whenever we finished off all of those on the list. So I was thinking through, so some of these, thought cactus farm, that might be a good idea. Maybe we could do some villager stuff in there, but I was thinking villagers in there, that'll be painful. And then I remembered I looked over here and the water has gone from the cactus. Now I've no clue why the water has gone from my cactus farm here, but this means my cactus farm that was kind of running all season long has gone. So, we've got a little bit of cactus in there. So I'm thinking, in today's episode, we build a mega cactus farm. And that mega cactus farm goes in on the inside of me. So what I'm thinking is this cactus farm is the width of this and that width there and the length of me there. That will head all the way up into my head, or maybe around the top just here. And I'm thinking we could even squeeze in some other farms in this gap just here, that gap that just there, and we can really make my body turn into one massive farm. I think that's going to look epic. So what we're going to have to do first is I think we're going to have to go into the testing world, work out what cactus farm design we are going to build, and then head over into this world here and crack on and get this thing built up. Now I've been back out here in the testing world working out what cactus farm design I would like to use. Now I've decided on this one here. Now you may be saying already that is not the most efficient thing, and you're right, it isn't, and there is a good reason for that. This is going to be loaded at my base whenever I am at my base, and I tell you what, I am at my base a lot, and it's cactus. Let's be honest, it's not really useful at all, but I want to get it, I want to farm it, because it just seems like a really good farm to put in the massive rover. So we're going to be going for this design here. Now I'd like to show off just quickly how this works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up a quick example using these three simple resources: cactus, string, and sand. And yeah, let's show off this farm design. Okay, so we start off with something just like this. This can be as big as we like it, and I've just made it 4 wide just for this example. So we have some sand along the bottom. Obviously the cactus will sit on top of that sand. Then we have string in between each of the cactuses. That does not break the cactus, so we can break and place that nice and easily. Obviously that is not affecting the cactus, as we can see just there. Then on top of that string we can place more sand, and you can already guess that that is the pattern repeating itself. So then we place some string in between the cactuses just like that, and then as you can see it's really simple, and we can just build it up just like that. Now we will leave a gap in between, so the cactus will fall down in the gap just here, and that's what I've demonstrated just up here. So I've done a 3 wide design. This will be roughly the kind of size we built, might be a little bit shorter, I can't remember the actual dimensions of the size we've got off the top of my head. And then underneath, all we have to do is run some water streams, so all the cactus will fall down. I've just put them on slabs just here to hover up that sand just there. Again, we could even use string if we'd like to, and that will just fall all the way down and funnel into the storage system that we come up with. So let's get onto the server. I think we're going to have to gather a whole bunch of string, a whole bunch of cactus, and a whole bunch of sand, and then we can build this thing. And we are inside the massive rover, beginning to build this thing up. As you can see, I've already done a fair few layers already. And yeah, this thing is so simple. It's just eat, sleep, rave, repeat. I mean, it's cactus, 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 string, 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 sand, sand, sand. And I just repeat that over and over again. And with these last couple of cactuses and bits of string and bits of sand, we have the mega cactus farm done. And I'm going to place this in and have to quickly drop down, because otherwise we will start taking damage. So let's drop down there. And as we can see, we have one mega cactus farm. I want to come down to the bottom and just look up and look at how cool this thing looks. Look at that. All of this is just solid cactus. I'm loving it. I'm loving this loads. As we said, it's not going to be the most efficient, but look at it. It's constantly raining cactus. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want cactus constantly raining down on them? Probably me, because I think that would hurt quite a bit. But anyways, I am loving this thing. The next thing we need to do is we need to sort out the collection system for this. Now, the one thing I'm worried about is I think we're going to have to put maybe some glass walls up in this place just here, because like I said, I would like to fit some kind of farm in this, in both arms, both there and there, and I don't think we're going to fit anything else up in the head up here. I think we'll just have to leave this as it is. But yeah, no, I think we need to put some bits and pieces in here, but as you'll see, some cactus does land on these blocks here, so I think what we need to do is put one big glass wall in on the arms just here, and yeah, let's go and dig out space down below and let's make a collection system. Now, we have done even more work, and we have set up a collection system. As you can see, we've just run some water streams all the way down, funneling into these 2 points down here. Now, I would actually like to get down here somehow. Now, I think I'm going to have to break my way in through here just to show you what is going on, so you know what's going on and what we're going to be doing with all of this cactus. So, the hoppers run into these chests just here. Now, these chests, as you can see, are already filling up with cactus. This thing is, as we have already seen, it just rains with cactus. It is constantly raining with cactus. Now, you'll also notice there are some composters here, because obviously cactus isn't that useful. I hate to admit it, but it really isn't that useful at all. So we are going to have the option to convert all of this into bone meal, because we do get through a lot of bone meal, especially with our wood farm. So this here is going to be our system that we can turn on and off. Now, I haven't actually tested this yet, so it'll be interesting to see if it does actually work. So this will unlock the hoppers when we flick a lever, which is up at the surface. I'll show that in just a minute. That will unlock hoppers. That means all of the cactus can start flowing into the composters. That will turn into bone meal, which will then get dispensed down this dropper stream. Now, there is a long ice stream under the underground just there. As you can see, that goes down off in that direction. Now, I'd like to show you where that comes out at, because we have already linked this up to our tree farm. If we fly all the way over here, you will see there is now a water stream emerging from the ground. That is what is behind those blocks, as you can see, and that runs directly into our bone meal farm. Now, the bone meal storage for the tree farm just here. So we actually need to test this thing. So there is 54 on that stack just there. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the cactus farm just over here, and just here, this is going to be our lever. So when we flick that lever, let's come down here and take a look. Yeah, that's a good start. So we're going to have to place a block in there, and yeah, okay, so yeah, we didn't do this too well. Let's do a little bit of tweaking. Okay, and there we go. So with a bit of tweaking there, I can't believe I completely and utterly missed that. But if we come down here, we will see that the cactus is flowing into the hopper, but oh, I think it has to run into the top. You can't run it into the side. Right, that's a pain. Okay, a little bit more work. Let's see if we can adjust this. And with the necessary changes made, hopefully this time this will work. Now we can actually cover up that just there, so obviously that is completely seamless. We're not going to see a thing. If we flick that lever there, hopefully if we come down here, we're going to see those composters. Yes, they are filling up with bone meal just like that, and you can see they are running through. Though that cactus in there is getting all the way run down, and oh, that is something we are going to need to change, because I believe yeah, those hoppers there are getting locked, and we don't want them to be locked. Obviously, we need them to continue picking up cactus if we leave this on all the time. But let's head over this way, and what we should see is falling in there. Yes, the new bone meal is coming in. As you'll see, that is just going to slowly tick up and keep this farm fully filled up. So we can have this always on if we don't ever want cactus. If we want cactus, we can just turn it off just like that. So one thing we are going to have to do is just make sure those hoppers down there, which are picking up the cactus, aren't actually getting locked, so we're not actually losing any cactus. As you can see, those are just lying around. If we have a look over here, as you can see, the hopper is enabled, and well, it's not enabled because it is set to false. So we'll make those necessary changes, and once that's done, well, this farm is sorted. Now we're going to do something a little bit different to usual. We are here in the testing world. Now I want to showcase Rover's resource pack. This is a combination of different textures put together to make my life a little bit easier with recording, and I wanted to show off, if you notice, because you may notice a few things are just a little bit different. So let's jump around and take a look at things. Firstly, you may notice there are some things on the wall here. These here are paintings. Now we have 3 custom paintings so far. Fan art. Fan art is now going to appear in paintings. If you do a piece of fan art and you send it to me, it will appear on a painting just like this. And this was a piece of fan art by Janoy. I showcased this in the 1000 subscriber channel retrospective, and as you can see, that is now in a painting form. We also have the channel logo, and we have the OmathaCraft logo just there. So those are paintings we are now able to use around whenever we want to. So that is something we will definitely be going to display in our OmathaCraft base. Now we also have quite a fair few things we want to take a look at just to show you what we have tweaked. Firstly, iron golems no longer have yellow flowers, they have red flowers as well. They should do, as they drop red poppies. Melon and pumpkin stems are now variated, so obviously that is melon and that there is pumpkin, just so you can tell the difference between the two. Bedrock has become less unobtrusive, or more unobtrusive, if I get my words out in the right way. As you can see, this makes it a little bit nicer. It's less sort of static and in your face, and it just looks a lot nicer than old Bedrock does. Now we have 3D tiles. As you can see, rails, ladders, doors, trapdoors, iron bars, and vines all appear 3D in their texture. As you can see, if we look at the iron bars just here, they are just that little bit 3D. It just adds a little bit of texture, just makes it look that little bit better. We also have the custom dies texture pack. It just means each die has its unique shape and color. I think that's just a nice little tweak. I really quite like that one. Shields are now also lower, so as you can see, they're lower on screen. Obviously, that's just purely for video purposes, and also pumpkins, when on your head, as you can see, no longer give that pumpkin shape, just to make things look just like a little bit nicer. Fire is also lower, so when we're on fire, I mean, the nether update is just around the corner, so obviously we're going to want that to be out of the way. As you can see here, hoppers now will put arrows in pointing the direction they will be pointing in. Obviously, again, that's just one of those things, just makes that thing just a little bit nicer. Now, this is one thing I haven't added just yet, but sticky pistons will be showing the stickiness on the side just here. Oh, and as you can see, stone cutters are also have that 3D spinning wheel. Kelp has this sort of flowery bit at the top when you know it's fully grown, just another small tweak, and also water is a little bit clearer than it was before. Now, you may already know this, but the majority of this pack has been put together by Vanilla Tweaks. That is vanillatweaks.net, and you can put together your own custom resource pack. And obviously, I've just missed out, had to add the sticky piston size, but that is what you're going to be seeing in future videos from now on. Those are the little tweaks. And I forgot to mention, all nether items are just a bit brighter in their texture, just makes the nether brighter and looks better for when recording videos. Beds. Well, they're not the prettiest thing in the world, but they are incredibly functional and useful, and we definitely need some around our base. However, I don't want to see them, so let's see if we can work something out. Let's pretend this here is our base. We've got the grass all around, we've got these leaves dotted around, that's providing the light all on the ground. And let's say night is around the corner, let's press enter. What if the ground opened up and down below was a bed? Well, let's do that. We can jump in, we can fall in that gap, we can go to sleep, and then we will wake up down here. Whoa, what's going on? We've been cut in. Oh, look, there's a nice button here. Let's press this button, see where it takes us. And we're taken right back up to the surface just up here. I love this. This thing is so cool. I want loads and loads and loads around my base. What we have going on is we have, firstly, a detection circuit. This detection circuit detects when it's night, and this is what this little system here is doing. That is just detecting and using subtract mode. That runs into here. We've just got a really simple, seamless piston door here, a trapdoor thing going on in the floor just there. That will expose those blocks. So what we can see to demonstrate that is let's break this redstone torch. You'll see those pistons get pulled back and this area down here is exposed. So at that point, we'll be able to drop in, we'll be able to go right click and go to sleep. Then when we wake up, we'll respawn on this block just here. The pistons will then refire, so they will turn back on just like that and they will get pushed across, obviously covering up that gap. However, what will happen now is we will see that if we jump in this little gap there, we're going to need to put a couple of bits of terracotta just in like that. We will get pushed by those pistons coming across onto this slime block just here. If we right click on this button, you'll see we are shot up to the top, the piston retracts, and we're back up at the surface. I think this thing is really cool, and I want to build a whole bunch of them around our base. So it's really quick for us to go to sleep. We just, whenever it's the right time to sleep, those pistons will retract, we will see those holes in the ground, we'll be able to get in them, we'll be able to go to sleep, and then we'll be able to get out super quick. And I think that's a nice little redstone contraption I'd like to have all around our base. So let's head on to the server and let's start working out where these are going to go and start building them. I completely missed it. The floor has just opened up. As you can see, that's just opened up. We just finished completing building up the first one. As you can see, that comparator is now giving a signal output, which is brilliant. Now, what we should be able to do is we should be able to drop into this, and we can just right click. We can go to sleep just like this. Cross fingers, this works. Then we wake up just like that, and if we stay still, yes, the pistons have pushed themselves over. Now if we press this button, we get shot up like that. Oh my word, this thing is amazing. So I'm just hiding the one in the floor. So this one here is going to go here. I think we're going to do another one down by the area there. I'm thinking we do them all over the place. The more and more we expand our base, the more and more we should add these in. To start off with, that's what I've put in for my 4 stacks of items. I think I'm going to change those out because that's quite a lot of comparators, which are quite expensive to make. So I'm going to go and grab a load of junk blocks, and that's what we'll put in those chests just there. Something that I don't need. Let's have a look. Diorite. I think that's a very good choice. Let's grab 4 stacks of diorite just like that. I don't need those other bits there. And yeah, we'll swap these over, and the base has its first invisible bed. I think that's a good name for it. I like that term, invisible bed. I think that works quite well. So what we'll do is just pop in here. We'll grab those out. 1, 2, 3, and 4, just in like that. There we go. And now what we do is just cover that over. And the only thing you might realise is not right is just that leaf block there. But we are eventually going to have loads and loads of leaf blocks all over the floor, as you can see. I am planning on getting rid of the torches over time and just replacing them with sea lanterns and leaves over the top. I think that looks a lot nicer than torch spam everywhere. As you can see, it expands all the way over to even Dean's space, which is over the hill just down there. But this is really cool. I'm loving this. Now I think the next one we'll do is the one sitting down by the bed, down by the storage system just over there. Now, I've dug out the hole for the second one, which is just down by the storage system down here. I thought we'd try and build this one on camera. Not exactly sure how well this is going to go, but it's worth a shot, so we'll give it a go. So we're going to jump in with our pistons. Now, I'd like our bed to go on this line of blocks just here, and this will be the jump chute out just in this block just there. Right, so now what we are going to want to do is place our pistons in. Now, I like to place our pistons in, I believe, at those blocks just there. Actually, no, that's wrong. So we want to go and put these one block back. So we're going to place our pistons in just like that, followed by some pistons facing upwards. Our bed is going to go just there, and then some more pistons just like that. Then our blocks are going to go just on there. That's going to be what's getting pushed up to the surface. Now what we'll do is we're going to place in these blocks that need to go just in the side. This is going to be the jump chute sort of elevator type thing. So we're going to have a piston just there. Then we're going to want to break out those blocks just like that. Put some terracotta in so the slime block's not going to stick. And once again, put a bit more terracotta just at the top like that. So that's all going to prevent anything from sticking just there. We're going to break this block here. Let's put some stone bricks in just like that. And then on the front of that, we're going to place a birch button. That is going to be our chute outwards. So we'll just shoot up just out of there. Nice and simple. Now, on the back of these pistons here, we've put 2 blocks down. We're going to place a couple of bits of redstone dust. This is the only bit here, which is a bit of a pain. We could rewire this, but it means using loads more resources. So I think what I'm doing is I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this round, so it will cover that over, and that's no worries. So we'll just do a little bit of terraforming, bring this bit of land out, so that'll be covered up, no worries. We'll worry about all that in a minute. So running into that block there, we are going to want some redstone dust on another block going down, and I need to find the redstone dust, which is just there, so we're going to place some redstone dust like that, and into that block there, we're going to place a repeater on 2 ticks, just like that. As you can see, that repeater is there on 2 ticks. So we can forget about that system just there for the time being. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to place the blocks in that we want on the sides just like this. Now I'm going to want a block there. I'm going to have dirt underneath. I think I can change it out at a later point if you'd like to. And now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our blocks just like this, and we need to have a block up pointing into that there, so we're going to have actually that running into that system just there. Forgot we had haste, so let's just fill in that gap, and now we're going to run that round, and we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to have a block just up here, and we can place another stone brick block there. I'm just making sure all my redstone is on proper blocks, in case I'm ever digging around here. I don't want to break anything itself. Now I'm a bit stuck, so let's dig our way out. So now we got to work out where we want our input for the redstone. So we're going to have for the daylight sensor and all that business. So we're going to have a piece of redstone dust off of that repeater just there. And then I think we're going to have our redstone torch probably just around that block just there. So we're going to place our torch just on there. And you'll see those pistons do get pushed across already. You'll see they haven't pushed upwards yet because we're not powering this bottom line just yet. But then when we run some redstone just across, just like that, you will see that that is now powering those pistons up. And that there is going to be our floor level. Okay, so I've just dug out a little bit more space. I clearly didn't make enough room. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come out a block like that. We're going to place a piece of redstone dust. Then on this block here, we are going to place our first comparator. This comparator is going to be set to subtract mode, so we need to right click on that once, make sure that torch at the bottom is lit. Then on the back of that, this is where our daylight sensor is going to go. So I'm just going to slot that in there, and we want this on nighttime mode. So we're just going to flick that onto sort of the blue mode just there. For the moment, those things will fire up. And now what we're going to do is we're going to place another comparator running into that there, followed by a chest just in there. And in this chest here, we need to place 4 stacks of blocks. So in this chest, I'm putting our 4 stacks of blocks just like that. And I think that's the system done. I'm hoping I've done this all correctly. So if we just cover this over as that's going to be, obviously we can't put any blocks on top of the daylight sensor. We'll make sure we pop some leaves over there when we get hold of some. I'm just going to fill in those blocks, make sure that looks as nice as possible. We can ignore that for the time being. And yeah, let's fill in the rest of this, cover it over, and take a look at it. And there we go, I've just concealed everything, that's all covered up. I'll do a little bit more work around this area at some point, but as you can see, that bed has been exposed, so we can just drop down into this. We can remember we can place another block just there. We can right click, we can go to sleep, and let's double check all this works, as obviously this is the first time testing this on camera, and we've actually spawned in the wrong place. That's because I haven't filled in these blocks just down here. So that is something you need to do. You need to remember to fill in all of the blocks. So that's something I'm going to do, so I'm going to make sure I fill in all these blocks, and we'll give it another test. And it has turned the right time of night. The bed is open. That one there is open. And let's head over to the other one. Just make sure that one is working as well. As you can see, they are both open. It's still fairly discreet as well, which is what I quite like. And let's pop over here and let's double check this one works. We're going to jump in. I'll hold shift so I don't bounce around. Let's right click. Let's sleep through the night. And this time, hopefully, we'll go to the right place. As you can see, we've respawned on the top of the bed. Those pistons go up just like that. And let's press the button and... did we forget to do the redstone for the button? I think we may have forgotten to do the redstone for the button. Yeah. Well, that was clever. But it does actually need redstone to work, funnily enough. So, yeah, no, we didn't put any redstone in whatsoever back here. So back here, we do actually need to put some redstone in. So let me just expose the piston, which is just up there, so we can actually go up a few blocks. And yeah, let me take out the space, and let's actually do this properly this time. Right, let's do it properly this time. That's our button just there on the back of the button. We're going to place a redstone torch. Okay, so we're going to drop down the back. That's our redstone torch just up there. We are going to need to break this sea lantern here. We're going to have to do something up there just to fix that up. And we are going to place a few blocks around here. It's actually really quite tight down here. We might have to do a little bit of tweaking around just to make sure everything will fit in and look good from the top. But we're going to place some redstone dust just like that. And what we're aiming for is we want 8 ticks running into that piston back there. So what I'm wondering is, do we have room back here? No, so we don't have much room back here. So we are very, very tightly compact back here. So we need to run 8 ticks into that piston down there that isn't inverted. And then we're going to have a piston over the top of our heads, which will cover up the hole, which does need to be inverted. So that's the easy part. Yeah, we're just going to have to run some really dodgy redstone down the back here and hopefully make this fit in. And with that repeater there, I'm going to set that to 4 ticks. I'm going to fill in all of this space, obviously just to prevent any mobs from spawning in here. We obviously are keeping our base super spawn proof. We can place in those final blocks, and then when we head up to the top just here, all we now need to do is we're just going to place a piston coming across just like that. That will automatically extend. That's what we like to see. We're going to place our grass block just there, another bit of dirt just there, and a grass block just there. So at the moment, that is what can be seen through that leaf block. I'm not too worried. We could actually even extend out this building just by 1 block just to make that fit in a bit better, so that's not even seen. That is something we can play around with. But let's wait for nighttime once again, which I think we're about midday, and let's give this hopefully what will be the final test. Once again, it is night. Let's give this a go. Please, please, please be our final time. And we can't sleep just yet. Come on, come on, come on. We must be so close. This obviously can't be perfect as there's only a signal strength of a certain amount we can play with. But it should be roughly nighttime anytime soon. Come on, let's get into bed. And there we go. So we're in bed. Let's get to sleep and hopefully, as we've already seen, we shall get pushed over. There we go, to that block there. And then if we right click on the button, there we go, we get shot up to the top and we can wander back into our base. Love it, love it, love it. And that is all the time I have for today's video. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, as it really does help out the channel quite a bit. And subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.